What is going on YouTube? Hitemac making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be doing something a bit different than we usually do here on the channel. As you guys know, typically we talk about XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500, and we are still going to continue making videos on that for the early morning updates. However, there are some other things I do want to talk about, and I figured maybe I will start putting out some videos every now and then in the afternoons or later in the evenings to kind of go over some other things we could talk about that just don't fit into the early morning videos. And feel free to let me know down in the comments if you want me to go in depth on certain other cryptocurrencies, if you want me to go in depth on certain other stocks, because I think we could definitely expand our horizon and look at other things, which I think would be pretty interesting if you ask me. Now, with all that being said, today specifically, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be going over Solana, the cryptocurrency here, a crypto that's been exploding over the past couple of months, and I figured it's about time we actually go in depth and do a little research on that. So if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's jump right into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, quickly refreshing the current coin market cap, Solana is trading at number 5, so it's definitely a cryptocurrency that we need to talk about. And although it's down 10% today, over the past coming weeks, it's been doing quite crazy stuff. It's exploded quite a bit at almost $100 a coin. You can see it has 41 billion, I think. Yeah, 41 billion with a B in crypto market cap here. You can see that's 100,000 million. Yeah, billion with a B. Crazy here. Even though we are on a decline, I want to kind of go over why that is. Now, diving into this, you can see Solana right here. I have this pulled up. This is Solana to US dollar on Coinbase here. It's easier to talk about when referencing the actual US price. Now, if you guys want me to compare this to like Bitcoin or something, like, you know, converting it, we're doing the Coinbase chart here. If something different that you want to see, then let me know down, obviously, in the comments below. And I'm open to discussion on that. Now, what we need to go over, I have this chart pulled up, and you can see kind of historically where Solana has done so well in the past. This is a fresh graph. When I look at graphs, this is how I charted. If you guys want to see, I've been doing crypto for who knows how long now, since like late 2016, maybe mid 2017, around that time period, I forget. But I've pretty much picked up on a few things to kind of, you know, pay attention to. But you can see 2021 really is when, you know, Solana took off with a lot of the other cryptocurrencies too. But since then, we've been on kind of this decline, and you can see there's kind of a certain bull market, bear market, consolidative period here. And you can see we're almost entering that next market right now, however you want to look at it here. And this is over from 2021 into 2022 into 2023. And now we're entering 2024 here. So cyclical, there's three kind of patterns here that we're paying attention to, but you can see we just recently started to see a pretty substantial rally to the upside. So if we go and zoom in a bit, I want to start charting a few things. I mean, it depends on how early we want to go, but you can clearly see the discoveries here. We do have some supports. We do have some resistances. We can draw on some price ceilings, some horizontal lines. I guess we'll start in the beginning here. I figured, you know, this is the time period that we're dealing with, so we might as well talk about the current point in the markets right now. So you can see there's really not a ton to go off of here. There's definitely some sort of uptrend. We'll draw on some horizontal lines first. We're going to start capping out some resistances here, which we can use in reference to the past here. Let's jump to the weekly, see if we can get a better kind of overview here where some resistances might lie, where some supports might lie. So we can move this a bit lower just to get a general market analysis here, and then we'll start tweaking them ever so slightly in a little bit. But we're just drawing on some supports for the time being. There's obviously one right here, and we'll scale these as we go up. You can kind of see we're looking for weekly resistances and weekly supports. So each cap, I'm looking at caps, looking at floors, supports, resistances, and you can see now that we have this kind of gauge, we can start drawing in some technicals. The weekly moving average is just starting to enter. You can also see in that time period, we've been overbought for a majority of this movement here on, you can see Solana. Most of Solana's history was overbought over the recent correction here. And then we were in, you know, an undervalued area. You can see this wasn't too bad. So jumping into the daily now to spend a little more time, we'll zoom out just a tad. You can see these resistances. I'm going to slightly pull this one a bit higher, just because we're going to do most of the charting on the daily charts, not so much the weekly. And you can see there's definitely an uptrend now that we can start to include here. So we definitely have a solid support. And this is a good sign because guess what we're retesting as we speak? That same uptrend here, which is, letting us swing higher. Now, what's cool is when cryptos start to enter like maybe the top 10 or the top 15 cryptocurrencies here on the global crypto market cap here, you can see they start to kind of react similar. Now, obviously, they can trend differently, but for the most part, they are fairly similar in their patterns. When volume leaves the top 5, the top 10 cryptos, they all leave. So we can use other cryptos like Ethereum as reference to XRP. We can use it as reference to Solana as well. And you can kind of see how, if we look at Solana here and we look at Ethereum, how they're kind of having similar patterns. If I zoom in a little bit more, kind of check out what exactly is going on. You can see we have an uptrend price ceiling where we've retested it in the past here. So it's just something to base reference on. When doing charting, you don't just use one crypto. In my opinion, I don't just reference one crypto for a broad spectrum of the market. Obviously, if we're going to do some 4-hour, hourly, or even closer technical trading here, then obviously I want to just focus on one. But you can see here, we're going to go a step further in a second here, but we have this floor that we've been using since October of 2023. So October, November, December, now into January. And you can see we've consistently used it as a means of support that has allowed us to break up. And every time we come close to a price ceiling, a resistance, we use this as a floor to recover ourselves. We became overbought right here. Well, what do? We fell lower. Even though we were going up, each time we headed lower, it was higher than the last. We lowered ourselves down from breaking out of, we couldn't break out of here because we were trading at 73 on the RSI. So what did we do? We consolidated, lowered ourselves from 75 all the way down to 60, then had the room to break out. And you can see it's a continued pattern here. So we're seeing that same thing happen now. We were extremely overbought when we first retested resistance here. So typically what might happen is we might start to fill in this gap here, close the gap before we retest that price ceiling yet again. And by doing so, we can pull back down. So you can see last time we were at this level here, which wasn't really that often, but you can see the last time we even relatively close. Let's go even here. We were overbought at 73 right here. And you can see this was at $76. We're currently at $90 and we're down to 52 on the RSI. So you could see over time we pumped higher, but when we consolidate, it allows us to, land at a higher position and be ready for a higher pull. So we could head up to this resistance again. And when we retest it, we might not be trading at 82 on the RSI. We might only be at 70, overbought still, but much lower than the previous, high at that point here. Now, as we continue onwards here, this is kind of the pattern that we're going to look for, filling in this gap here on this ascending triangle. Now, I also want to zoom in a bit closer and see if there's maybe some sort of bull flag or some sort of pennant flag or something forming here, because I'm noticing that there's definitely a solid downtrend. Kind of. It's going to be a tough one, but bear with. Something along the lines of this. How we have some sort of flag pole, and then we have this kind of stair-stepping downwards flag itself, which typically lends its hand at breaking bullish here. Let me re-add that. I don't even know. Redo. That won't work. Okay, let me add this back. Something like that. So here we go. Now we have this up. We can even pull it a bit closer if we want to look at it like that. And you can kind of see how we're now filling in this gap here on some sort of downtrend as well. This is the 4-hour. We could jump to the daily again. You can kind of see how it starts to make sense a bit more when we have this drawn out here. And this is how you can use this as reference for a potential pump higher. So if we manage to break through this price ceiling here in the more moderate trade, we could buy in and long this to the price ceiling of an expected target of 120. However, ultimately, conservatively, this is what we plan on doing. So we're not going to explode upwards here. We have a clear price ceiling that we need to break through, but we do have this flagpole forming here. So if we can break and close the daily above resistance here, we can see a pretty solid explosion to the upside, just like we saw in the consolidation pattern that happened here, which is very exciting if you ask me. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on Solana like that, because there's definitely huge potential with this. And the best part, my favorite part, is you can actually trade Solana on BidFi, the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use here on the channel. You can see if you click here type in Solana, you have Solana to USD that you can pull up. So not only can we now take advantage of these trades, we can buy long, sell short, we can leverage trade, we can create stop losses, take profits, everything you'd want on Solana is offered on BidFi, which is super cool. So everything you want to take advantage of is right here, including you can see where the take profits are, stop losses, so on and so forth. My favorite part about BidFi is they offer a sign-up bonus where you can earn up to over $2,000 completely free by signing up with the link down in the description below, which is epic if you ask me. The fact that everything is, practically free to use on this exchange here, and I'll explain a little bit more in a second as to why that is, but you can see you can earn tons of free cryptocurrency like that. It's free in the sense that you actually have where do we have it? Solana pulled up right here on the demo account. So what's really cool about BidFi is they offer not only a mobile, but a demo or a desktop demo version where you can practice trading your Solana skills, practice competing in the markets, get familiar with BidFi. You can even practice my trades, get familiar with my trades here, practice your skills. And when you're ready, you can obviously switch over to the live account and trade around with real cryptocurrency, which is very impressive if you ask me. So I highly recommend you take advantage of this on BidFi down in the description below, where you can get that free link where you can get some free cryptocurrency, test your skills, check it out. Obviously, this is the BidFi version of Solana, so the charts might appear slightly different. You can see how this looks on Coinbase compared to how it looks on Solana, but nevertheless, it is very similar here. And when we see this break off from resistance right here, that'll be that opportunity where we can long. So definitely make sure to check out BidFi down in the description below. If you guys are liking content like this, let me know down in the description below as well. So make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.